I mean, how do you not give Nacho the win there? How do you not give Nacho the win there? He was so quick. It was amazing. I mean, how do you not give it to this guy? How are you, boys? What's good? What's up, Nacho? What's up, Alex? I was so close. I worked so hard for this. I nearly get it. I was so close. What's up, boys? How the hell are we? Nacho, how are you going with this wind, brother? Oh my god, it is slamming my suburb right now. I don't know if it's as bad down in the Bull, but Jesus, is it bad. What's up, Atomic3301? How are you, mate? Good to see you, dude. I hope you're well. Hope you're having a fine afternoon this afternoon. I picked the perfect time to go for a dump. Set me up success. That's the most important thing when you're trying to pick a good live stream time. If you're already sitting on the toilet with your phone in your hand, oh, God, it's just brilliant, isn't it? How am I doing? I'm dead inside, but that's all right. We press forward. It's all good. The weather here is messed up. I know, mate. I'm just not going to swear early on because it'd be good to get some monetization out of today's live stream. Yes, I know. The weather is insane. Insane. Stuff's blowing. The balcony's cooked. Everything on the balcony's upside down. It's cooked. Marcus McGee will shock the world. Why are we backing Marcus McGee? What's the go with this? What's up, Blaz? G'day, how are you, dude? Why are we backing Marcus McGee, Ethan? We're Piotr Jan enjoyers on this channel. I don't like what you're doing there at all, Nacho, by setting up this Marcus McGee victory. I don't go for that at all. Thank you very much. Dougie, I'm on the peanut butter ice cream and I'm a Navy SEAL. Okay, how are those two things related? Why did they both need to be in the same sentence, Woeful? I mean, enjoy your peanut butter ice cream. Bloody delicious is peanut butter ice cream. I love peanut butter ice cream. And if you are a Navy SEAL, you know what? Woeful, I'm gonna say this to you, to your face. I don't believe you. I don't believe that you're a Navy SEAL. The way that you type and behave doesn't give off Navy SEAL energy, mate. Jan Daylight murders him. I don't know if Jan murders him, but yeah, I think we're going to see a crafty vet performance from Piotr Jan. What's up, Justin Kennedy? How are you? What's up, Pablo? How are you, dude? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. How have you been, mate? Good to see you, dude. I hope you've been well. He's a SEAL. We went to boot camp together. I don't believe you either. I don't believe any of you right now. What's up, Weston? How are you, dude? So goddamn humid here, mate. Lying in bed with no covers and the fan directed at me plums. Okay, vivid, disgusting, and sweaty. Didn't need quite that much detail, but good for you, Weston Mass. I'm happy that you're finding some way to calm down. Do a midnight dip in the river. No, don't do a midnight dip in the river. Don't swim in a river drunk, naked. Don't do that. That's not a good way to go. That's not a good way to go at all. Butter pecan, not peanut butter. Where have you said that? Dougie, I'm on the butter pecan. Oh. Yeah, no, that's on me, Woeful. That's on me. Sorry, brother. I have no idea what buttered pecan is, but I hope you enjoy it. Currently in a death match with heartburn and diarrhea. Okay, boys, listen. We got Nacho taking a shit. We got Western Mass with his balls out and the fan wedge between them. I don't need to hear all this stuff, guys. I'm happy that you guys have gotten so comfortable with Dougie's Corner live stream. I'm happy like we're all feeling like one big family. We get to meet up at the end of the workday and chat MMA. But I don't need to hear about who's shitting, whose balls are sweating, who's on the fucking... Like, I don't need to hear all this, okay? So let's just pull right up. Okay. Currently in a death match with heartburn and diarrhea. Right, we've just done that one. Charles via 5th round triangle off his back. Shades of Anderson Silva. I don't think so. I think Charles Oliveira is getting slept. I think he's getting slept. Slept hard. Really brutally slept. Last night for dinner, sat down and oh, also, Fight Pass enjoys, before I finish this sentence. Gentlemen on Fight Pass, if you have Fight Pass, watch Eternal 96. It was the Eternal that happened this weekend. The latest Eternal. Not the next Eternal that's happening. That's Eternal 97. The latest Eternal that just happened on Fight Pass. Eternal 96. Watch it. Great card. Really, really good card. Go and watch it. But last night for Din Din, I sat down and I watched Ilya Tapuria versus Max Holloway. Dude's power is insane. Insane. Been good. How's everything been? It's been ticking along, Pablo. But I'm here. I'm doing the business. What if I'm not drunk? Should I get drunk first? No. If you're not drunk, then maybe consider a nighttime dip. You know what I mean? In the nutty. Yeah, refreshing. Shout out to all the fellow people taking a shit. Okay, Nacho, thank you. I'm going to talk about it more now. Don't, Justin Kennedy. That's good, Weston. I'm happy you're enjoying that. I'm sunning my nuts tomorrow morning. Okay, don't care. The women's flyweight division is fire right now. They just announced Thug Rose versus Jean Alate Ali. Oh, good for them. Good for the girls. I don't care. And I keep saying women's MMA is back. And let's be real, boys. Over the last couple of cards... What's up, Capatheist? What's up, Nubby? How are you guys? Over the last couple of cards, women's MMA has been the best thing about them, nearly. I mean, that's good. That's good. And you know what? I'm going to watch it. Maybe I should start putting women's MMA on my predictions cards. What do we reckon? And Alex says, me gooch is melting. Yeah? Sniff, sniff. It's poetic justice if Ilya can't KO the guy with the worst chin out of the last 3 fighters he has fought. That would be poetic justice and is the sort of weird, ironic thing that would fit our sport of MMA, wouldn't it be, Nacho? Like if Ilya Topuria can sleep Alexander Volkanovski, if he can sleep statistically the best chin of all time, Max Holloway, and for some reason he just can't put out Charles Oliveira, yeah, that's classic MMA irony right there. And Rainy MMA is saying, Dana White officially resigned from the UFC. I don't believe you, Rainy. I was just on MMA Twitter checking the news stories before I started this stream. And that was 7 minutes ago. So unless Dana White has retired in the last 7 minutes, I don't believe you. Max did really well versus Arturo. He did. So there's a moment in the third round, the round where it ended, where you can see there's an indent on the top of Ilya Topuria's left thigh. You can tell that his thigh's cramping up and it's giving away because Max Holloway has just been hammering that oblique kick again and again and again. And Ilya Topuria just decides the fight has to be over now, otherwise I'm not going to have any legs under me for the next 12 minutes. And he just turns it on and sleeps Max Holloway. It's insane. It's insane. You can actually see the moment where he goes, yeah, no, I can't stay in this fight with Max Holloway. He's too good. Why can't I see Ilya doing Charles like McGregor did Cerrone? Why can't I see Ilya doing Charles like McGregor did Cerrone? I don't think it'll be that quick, Nubby. I don't think it'll be that embarrassing. Like, Charles Oliveira hasn't got quite Donald Cerrone levels of quit in him. And I hate to say that, but it is true. Yeah, no, I don't know, Nubby. I don't reckon it'll be that bad. Fuck it then phone, I'll just say a normal g'day. G'day, Capatheist. I see your messages aren't going through. G'day, Capatheist. How are you, dude? I hope you're well, man. I'm pissed they didn't do Rose versus Grasser. I'm so upset. I'll never be able to really... for as long as I live, there's going to be some fights, you know, Khabib versus GSP, Khabib versus Tony, you know, John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, and Rose versus Grasso. These are the ones that are going to haunt me, Nacho. Ilya is going to ground and pound Charles Oliveira. He might, Pablo. He might, dude. He very, very well might. Who wants to see Norma Dumont versus Mackenzie Dern? Winner fights Veronica Hardy. There we go. There's some hardcore WMMA matchmaking right there on your Atomic 3301. Dana resigned from being straight. I'd believe that more than Dana resigning from the UFC at this point. Breaking news from 30 seconds ago. Dana White is pregnant with John Jones' baby. First official pregnancy on the internet via swallowing. No, it's been seen before. No one thought this was humanly possible, that you could swallow cum and still end up pregnant. But Dana White and John Jones' relationship is still out there to prove us wrong, boys. Let's not forget, man, Charles is undefeated since the birth of his second child. Charles hasn't fought since the birth of his second child, Nacho. Was his second child born after the Chandler fight? I think it was just after the Chandler fight, wasn't it? Or am I thinking of Volk's 12th daughter? I might be thinking of Volk's 12th daughter. I'm not sure, Nacho. Maybe. Dana forgot to take his birth control. Exactly right, Justin Kennedy. Let's go, Charles Oliveira. Du Bronx has a name. The champion has a name. Is Charles Du Bronx Oliveira. On you simply, kudos. Let's go, Ilya Topuria. Guna matchup Atomic. Okay, all right. Alex knows the game. Yeah, fun fight between two former champs who are still somewhat relevant in their division. So, of course, the UFC just simply will not do it. Yes, we can give Dana White horrible, horrible trash for that one. But I don't think we can give Dana White trash for the John Jones situation. And thank you guys for joining me in the premiere this morning. That was fun to do while I was busy cutting up sheets. He fought Chandler after the birth of his second child. Well, there you go, Nachathan. There you go. I guess Charles Oliveira is undefeated as a dad of two. What do you think of the Jamal fight? I think Jamal Hill is the worst person to ever touch a UFC belt. Ever. The worst male champion to ever touch a UFC belt. Truly embarrassing that he didn't know how to handle a low kick and an overhand. That's what Khalil Roundtree did for the entire fight. And on my scorecards, I think Jamal Hill lost every single round via a low kick and an overhand. I'm never picking Jamal Hill again. Truly one of the worst fighters to ever touch a belt. What did you think about it, Pabro? What's up, Shyla? Good to see you. How are you? I'm telling you guys right now, Ilia Topuria submits Charles Oliveira round 1. If he submits Charles Oliveira round 1, call Lucas Tracy, tell him to update the GOAT list. I mean, this guy, he just submitted Charles Oliveira in modern UFC. This isn't a bunch of nobodies. Yeah, call Lucas Tracy. Do you like cream pies? No, they're too dangerous, Bilal's good eye. You never trust them when they say they're on the pill. Nobody is talking about the fact that John Jones' prostitute had no pants on because she shit herself earlier at Jones's house. People are absolutely talking about how John Jones' recent prostitute that he crashed a car with had no pants on. A lot of people are talking about it, actually. Arturo first round KO. You heard it here first from Woeful the Navy SEAL. UFC charged their golden gloves. UFC changed the golden gloves for Jones. Dana glazed John everywhere that he could. Always placed inactive John Jones into the pound-for-pound top 3 rankings, though Jones was a headache to the UFC. Why do you think Dana was glazing him? I believe because when Tom Aspinall won the belt, John Jones said he wasn't sure whether or not he wanted to fight Tom Aspinall, but he definitely wanted to fight Stipe Miocic for his legacy, and Dana White was trying to his ego, just polish his ego up to get him to say yes to Tom Aspinall, which John Jones did say yes to at the end of November, at the end of the fight night in November, Rainey. I can't get the image out of my head of Ilia dropping Charles, going for the finish and getting caught in a triangle or an armbar. Remember, Ilia Topuria knows jiu-jitsu, so he knows what to look out for. He's not just a regular normie like you and me, Justin. What's up, Daniel? How are you, dude? Excuse me, boys. I've just had a very thick protein shake and my guts are rejecting it. I gotta check the milk. What's up, Kenny? How are you, dude? Good to see you, brother. I hope you're well. How are you, man? Money Grows fought the other day. Who are you rooting for? Jamal or Khalil? Money. I feel like I've said something stupid there. They fought the other day. Who were you rooting for? Money, you got me, mate. Well done. Fought the other day. Who were you rooting for, Jamal or Khalil? I was rooting for Jamal Hill. Never doing it again. I didn't realize that he had touched a belt. He had indeed touched a belt. Duggaroo, can I put my face, can paint my face, mate? Stop it, Kenny. Absolutely stop it. Thanks for the chuckle. Well done, Mr. C. People have been trying to get me to drop the N-bomb the entire time I've been streaming for like 2 years now. And you were the first to do it, dude. Well done. You got me. It's not Jamal's fault that Khalil didn't stand in the pocket and trade with him until someone got KO'd. I know. It's not Jamal Hill's fault that Khalil Roundtree didn't stand there and get hit in the face. How dare we blame Jamal Hill for this? People forget, man, my dog is gay. All right, calm down, monkey. John planted this story to counter the gay allegations. I think so. I think he just had the prostitute in his car just for the gay allegations. He didn't actually touch her. Jamal had a decent chin, but he's just terrible. He's just terrible. Shyla says, how do you think Jailton Almeida would do against Tom Aspinall? I think he would struggle controlling Tom Aspinall on the ground because of Tom Aspinall's elite levels of jiu-jitsu for heavyweight. And then he would be able to create scrambles and get back up. Once they're back up, standing on their feet, Tom Aspinall absolutely sleeps Jailton Almeida. That's how I think that goes. What's up, Cheddarhead? What's up, Daniel? What's up, Paul? Daniel, Paul, run deep. How are we, boys? Good to see you guys. I want to drink Dougie's Glaze.
What? You gay? You are gay.
There you go, Kenny. You've been fishing for that all day. Hey, fellas. How are you, Paul? If Arturo KOs Charles, he will have a better resume than John Jones. No, not true at all. Calm down with that one. 2:30 a.m. in the USA. What's up, Brady B? Did you get into the Discord, brother? Is Monkey Kenny Zesty DDP? He is. Monkey is Kenny Zesty DDP. Dougie's Milk is a thick protein shake. All right, Kenny, I'm going to stop reading out your chats because we got a lot of chats to get through here, mate. Thoughts on the 196 10 packs of all of a sudden being $10? Thoughts on the 196 10 packs all of a sudden being $10 more expensive? It's a fucking disgrace, Nacho. The inflation in Melbourne, especially with the alcohol tax on top of it, is disgusting. I've had to start brewing my own beer. It's not going well. Volk has increased the Aussie female population by 30%. What a legend. Maybe. I think the last thing Australia needs is more women in it, but you know, we could do with a bit more men to help hold the front line over the takeover. Thanks for the chuckle. You got me, Mr. C. Tell us your top 10 GOAT list. Not right now, Rainy. If the chat slows down a little bit and you see me catch up to where the chat is, ask me again and I'll be happy to pull it up for you. I've got a chart. Well played, Mr. C. Yes, well played, Mr. C. Had fun watching Salty Jamal Hill get shat on. So did I, Run Deep. So did I. You know what? Everything that happened the moment that the bell was rung and the fight was over was absolutely hilarious to me. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it, dude. I still remember having a dream of Ilya KOing Vulcan days later that actually happened. And when it was fight week against Holloway, I told my friends Ilya KOs Max as well, but nobody believed me, man. Yeah, dude. The Max Holloway fans were getting a little bit annoying leading up to the Ilya Topuria fight. Poor Charles. Yes, poor old Charles. Just commented on Guru's last video from 40 minutes ago. Told him to check out your latest masterpiece. Well, thank you, Alpeg. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I hope I did you guys proud with today's video. I'm not a regular Joe. I train bullshitto 4 days a week, 3 days a week, and 3 days a week I train 2 days a week. So Monday to Wednesday we train 4 days a week. Wednesday to Friday we train 7 days a week, but every day we're training at least 3 times a week. You know, it's my goal in life now to outlive my children. Everyone wants to do that. You ever know how to cut an onion properly? Wait, what? Dougie finally revealed the true nature and dropped the M-bomb. Somebody give me a timestamp. Go on back to Mr. C's question. Wait a minute. The gender of the prostitute was never confirmed. Very true. No, it was a woman. Her pants were down. So Monkey is Kenny. Monkey is Kenny. Dougie, what do you think of World War III? I think it's over before it began, mate. Great to see you, brother. Wishing you a blessed winter. You too, Ron. I wish you a blessed summer. Are you in Australia? You might be in America. I wish you a blessed summer, Ron. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate you. And Wixon says, trust me, I back. What's up, Wixon? Trust me, I back. I worked so hard for this. Good to see you, Wixon. Mectic Autobuy isn't his name. It's the sound he makes when they feed him. You hungry, buddy? You wanna maybe try and cut weight? Mectic Autobuy. He's not a Pokemon, mate. Dougie, thoughts on Donald Trump mogging Iran? You dumb motherfuckers. What if Nacho 196 is $10 more? What is this? What the fuck, Nacho? 196 is $10 more? What is this country doing, for fuck's sake? That should be the lead news. There you go. Dougie, I would cast you for Goku and Dragon Ball Z. Oh, thanks, man. I got Goku's hair rocking a little bit at the moment. Bang Eat Chowder. Good to see you back, brother. How are you, man? You don't think it's likely that John Jones has dirt on Dana? That's exactly what it was like with the glazing and getting whatever he wants. No, I don't think it's likely that John Jones has dirt on Dana. You should check out today's video, Bang Eats Chowder. I think Dana White was glazing John Jones to get him to say yes to the Tom Aspinall fight while he was giving him the Stipe fight for his legacy. And at first it did work, because after November 2024, after John Jones slept Stipe Miocic, everyone left the meeting seeming like the fight was absolutely going to happen. So I believe in that meeting, John Jones simply just said, yes, I'll fight Tom Aspinall, and then changed his mind the second he got home. Agreed, Paul. It's a bloody travesty. Name me wins on John Jones' resume equivalent to finishing Max, Volk, and Charles Oliveira. Names on John Jones' resume. Well, bloody choking the fuck out of Lyoto Machida. The Shogun Rua fight. Head kicking the fuck out of DC. DC is like one of the greatest fighters of all fucking time. DC would be one of the GOATs, maybe a top 5 GOAT if John Jones didn't exist, right? Your last video was entertaining as fuck. Well, thank you, Ron. I appreciate it, dude. Yep, you got me. You're welcome. To be clear, I told them to check out the Jones Star Wars masterpiece. Oh, that one. Fair enough. Well, either one. I'm happy you guys enjoyed it. I'm big champion. I worked so hard for this. Dougie ate all the chocolate plum and still didn't get the part. Damn, Dougie ate the chocolate plum and still... I don't know what you're saying there, Kenny. Oral Bly. Bilal Muhammad or Nicholas... good one, Atomic. And then I misspelled it. Anyway, you're all welcome. We have completed our mission. Dougie is now officially a brother. Mate, I got the pass. There you go. I could say the word. I would cast Dougie as the Gimp in Pulp Fiction. Fuck you, Nacho. Everyone knows I'd be Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction. I would also cast Dougie as Hezbollah. What are we doing today? What is this? What is going on? Chat's in a mood today. Okay, it's good to see. The disrespect. Do you ever fish from the beach? No, I don't like fishing, mate. I think if I want to go down to the beach and just watch the water, I just go down to the beach with a book and a bottle of whiskey and just sit by the water, which I do often enough. So yeah, no, not really one for fishing. I think fishing just puts a lot of steps in between sitting next to the water and drinking. If Makachev beats JDM and defends the title once, he is the GOAT. No questions asked. I agree, Wixon. Doug, what is your favorite Pokemon? Mine is... Alright, what is going on here? Dana White used to be the father of the UFC. Now he's like the pill-addicted stay-at-home third wife. Almost, yes. Oral Blob Abai. Yes, Dougie, you don't know what to eat... No, I don't know what a plum is, mate. Do Aussies use the N-word freely? Only on a Saturday night when you're driving up and down Chapel Street with the music blasting like it's 2008 again. Dougie does look like Hezbollah. Stop it. Thoughts on casual gayness? I don't like it. Nacho, I don't like it. And what's up, Yog? Thoughts on going down to the beach and seeing Alexa... Okay, we're gonna move on. Chat's in this mood today. Alright, we're just saying things. Tapuria would have beaten Islam Makhachev. I don't think so, Pabro. I think Tapuria would have been clinched up and kneed down the center. That's what I think would have happened there. Go to your bookmarks, Dougie, and find what we're looking for to talk about today. What are we looking at today? Right, we got some news about this. We got to talk about this. Cedric Damas is on UFC 317, and I really need to know, Americans in the chat, dear Americans in the chat, I need to know this from the Americans. Why isn't he in jail? Why is Cedric Damas not locked in prison? He's been arrested 17 times for breaking and entering into people's houses. How is this man an athlete? What the fuck is going on with your criminal system? I mean, I know I'm from Melbourne and we can just hit people with machetes and they'll let them go. But how is this guy fighting on ESPN International Fight Week on a fucking pay-per-view? He's been arrested 17 fucking times. Can someone explain it to me? Anyone? Doug, you have an MMA-related question. What vehicle does Francis hit like? You're about to go viral for your meme. I need you to get this right for the compound. Wasn't it a Ford Escalade? He's probably from Detroit or the Bronx. Is this normal behavior from America? This is normal behavior from the Americans. Is that an ankle monitor? That is an ankle monitor. Maybe he just never meant to get locked up. He's been arrested 17 times. Trump is our president. That's all you need to know. As an American, my guess is that he's just not poor. What if he's not poor? Why does he keep breaking into people's houses to take their shit? Why doesn't he just fucking buy his own shit from the store like a normal person? I don't understand. When I started looking at this card to go back and watch fight footage, I saw Cedric Damas there. I thought I had made a mistake. I was like, there's no fucking way Cedric Damas is still on the fight card. 17 times. He's been arrested. Damas's ex-girlfriend set him up. Well, all the other times as well. He got bailed out by the UFC. This sport is a joke. This sport is an absolute joke. Dougie, we've been over this. What's another word for a hooker? It's an escort. He hits like a forward escort. There you go. He got bailed out by the UFC. He's got that privilege. It's just the other times don't count. They set him up like OJ. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. They get 5 out of jail free cards. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Why? Was this allowed to continue to happen? Have you seen the Get in My Guard YouTube video? No. Trump pardoned the scammer for donating to the Republican Party, so yeah. Did you see they were having a hard time brewing your own beer? And yes, I recommend cider. It's way easier and prettier. No, I was just joking around, Bang, because Australia has exorbitant alcohol taxes, so the price of a beer... Recently, the price of a beer, I think it's gone up to $14 at the pub for a pint. I'm pretty sure we're paying $14 a pint now. He's just living his truth. The parole officer will be in his corner. They'll lock you up for anything in the police state of America. I wish they would lock people up in America. They just let him go. He's just living his truth. That is so fucking funny, Nacho. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's diabolical. I know. It's disgusting. We got a crazy. No, Atomic. I'm not doing that one. Dougie should go deep into the outback and cook himself some meth. I completely agree, mate. Tommy Aspinall has been enshrined forever in legacy. A new mural celebrating the new UFC Undisputed Heavyweight Champion has gone up in Manchester. It looks fucking sick. Again, this is what the city of Manchester are doing for one of their own, Tommy Aspinall. JDM and Alexander Volkanovski do not even get a fucking newspaper clipping. We don't even get a single paragraph in the newspapers for our two UFC champions at the moment. Tommy Aspinall gets an entire building patented after his likeness. Australia is truly the country of the soy. Obviously, the reality of the situation is he is the true victim, a victim of systemically racist criminal justice system. He probably didn't even do any of that stuff. He was just falsely accused. How can you be a victim of the systemically racist criminal justice system if they keep letting you go? We have the highest incarceration rate anywhere. Work on it harder. Do it or just start shooting them. What's your thoughts on Ngannou in Africa situation? I think it's very, very sad. And I think he has money, and when you have money, laws don't apply to you. Tom Aspinall has a long torso. Very true, Wixon. There was another fighter in the UFC, I think whose name is Townsend, who kept getting arrested and just simply never went to jail. Yeah, I guess if you just, laws are for the poor. Laws are for the poor. Yeah. Who do you got? Imavov versus RIP. I've got Imavov, and I don't like Imavov, but I've got Imavov, Nacho. Tom is kind of shaped like the thumbs from Spy Kids. I can't bring up an image in my mind of the thumbs from Spy Kids. Aspinall has a long neck and a long torso. I swear I'm 6'1", and I've got longer legs than him. Okay. All right. I mean, he's got a weird... I don't think his build is that weird. I think he's got a pretty normal build. Good arvo, mate. Good arvo to you, Mooty Wizard. How are you, dude? Wixon, who give you this black belt? Shiloh wants to test out your black belt, mate. Damas has a tattoo for each of his felonies. Literally, Justin Kennedy is fucking insane. A felony conviction should come with a castration. I agree. Just shoot him. Just shoot criminals. Just shoot them. What happened with Francis Ngannou? I don't know, Pablo. Can you ask a follow-up question? In what? Francis Ngannou. He was driving his motorbike in his home country of Nigeria, I want to say. I believe it was in Nigeria. Anyway, he was driving his motorbike through the streets of Africa, and unfortunately, he hit a young woman and took her to the hospital, and according to the coroner's report, it wasn't the full-speed crash with a motorbike that caused her to pass away. It was the incompetence of the doctors at the hospital. First, there goes Dougie Cowley spelling the N-word. Now he's saying just shoot... No, I'm not saying shoot them as in black people. I'm saying shoot criminals. Shoot criminals. Like, just shoot criminals, you know? There's a reason that Muslim countries have such a low crime rate, because they chop their fucking hands off and hang them. Like, shoot criminals. Dougie, I've been saying non-gay funny things, and you keep... Sorry, Kenny. I apologize, dude. Brazilians do usually lose to the Dagestanis. They do, simply kudos. Very true. I find it absolutely hilarious that people genuinely think Ngannou beats Aspinall. It wouldn't even be close. Tom finishes him round 1. I think it's close, Atomic, because Tom Aspinall always gets touched on the chin, mate. And Francis Ngannou hits like a forward escort. So, if Francis lands on the chin and Tom always gets touched on the chin, there's your very real possibility. Now, Tom could blast the double leg and absolutely out-wrestle and sub and pull a sub on Francis Ngannou, but there you go. He does that to everyone, Monkey. I do not. I try and read as many chats as I can, but when you guys just go one after the other, 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 just about retarded shit, I'm not reading them all out. Ngannou wants to be just like... Okay, Kenny. Cameroon. Thank you, Larry. Cameroon. I appreciate that, dude. All criminals. Doesn't matter what the crime. You guys should try China. Yeah, just shoot them. That's how you stop crime. You shoot criminals. Dougie's casual racism is more racist than full-on racism, that chat says. Dougie's casual racism is more racist than the full-on racism. This has got nothing to do with race. Shoot criminals, regardless of skin color, in the face. Dana said recently that Ngannou would beat Aspinall. What a great promoter. Dana said recently that Ngannou would beat... No, he didn't, Alpeg. Where did he say that? Where did he say Francis Ngannou would beat his new heavyweight champion? I can't believe that, but I do believe it. Like, I don't want to believe what you've said just now, Alpeg, but I do believe what you've said just now, and it makes me upset and angry inside. All the authoritarianism you could want. I know, look how well their country has been going. They've literally gone from financial ruin in the 70s to being the global leader in the marketplace. If 260-pound UFC fighter running over you, it's a wrap. Yes, the world heavyweight champion, 260-pound UFC fighter running over you with a motorbike. Yeah, I don't think it was the doctor. Of course, Dougie highlights the countries that have... okay, all right, mate, calm down. Ford Mokes motorcycles too. Okay, simply kudos. Jesus Christ, chat's in a mood today. Francis is too slow for big Tom Aspinall. Maybe. I mean, Curtis Blades isn't exactly lightning with the hands, Justin. I've torn my ACL 3 times. Holy shit, Brady B. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. You don't want to get hit by that guy. He's got a bazooka. You just have a gun. Joe Rogan, the glaze for Francis Ngannou back in the day was insane. Dougie, have you seen the TRB promo video? I have not, Weston. Could you maybe send it to me on Instagram or post it in the Discord? Getting pussy is already so easy, but that gold belt on Tom's shoulder must take it to another level. There you go, Ron Hulk. Ron's not an incel. He knows. He knows the game. Tears of the Sun was a good movie based in Cameroon. Okay. Do I want to see it? He never said that. Dana didn't say that. Dana lost some weight again. Okay, good for Dana White. Good. I'm happy Dana never said that. Thank God. Dougie had a full corporate career in India, but then learned that he couldn't come back to Australian office later, so his hate for Indians made him become a plasterer to move back. I don't hate Indians. And yes, that did force me to become a plasterer. You're not wrong about that part. He wouldn't predict a winner because he said it's not going to happen. I mean, why not just big up Tom Aspinall and say Tom Aspinall smokes Francis Ngannou? Why not just say that? Why not just say that? Dougie said shoot white criminals with a Nerf gun and the others with it, but that's not what I said, Alex. I said shoot them all. I fuck with Indian food, though. Yeah, Indian food's fucking amazing. I didn't hear you suggest... Well, that's not my fault. You're hearing what you want to hear. Ever been to the United States of Israel? I have been, UFC Sabbath. How are you, dude? We got to celebrate our differences. Could you shit on my country more? Could y'all shit on my country more? I mean, we could try it. We could try and uplift it if you want. To be fair, the glaze for Ngannou was reasonable. Yeah, no, at the time it was. It was reasonable, absolutely. I mean, he was the next... He was the fucking thing. He was the shit, mate. Absolutely. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Let's check this out. Well, let me catch up a little bit and then we'll check this out. Which call center is better, Indian or Nigerian? I'm not sure. I've never been to a Nigerian call center. Impression of Tom Aspinall eating Indian food from the streets. Hello there. Can I have some of that butter chicken? That's good stuff. Oh no! Dougie was a call center tycoon boss. Not the boss, no, just the head sales manager. On Gumbo, how about that? Tears of the Sun is pretty good. Nothing too special. Super serial movie though. You still need to watch Face Off. I do still need to watch Face Off. Dana Glaze is one of his fighters. People are pissed at him. Weren't we just talking about how? Wait. Oh, when he was glazing Francis Ngannou? That's fair enough. Not an Ngannou fan. He destroyed my boy in the second fight. Fair enough. Have you started Season 2 of Fubar? No. I don't think I'm going to watch Season 2 of Fubar. Dana doesn't glaze one of his fighters. People are pissed off at him. We just did that one. Don't shit on my America. I'm the only one that shits on America. We do the shitting on people. You see Iran? We are the best. We beat Iran. All right. Still remember Rampage saying Khabib. No, oh my god, Atomic. I cannot say that. Those Wookiees are cuddly as hell. They were, Brady B. All right, let's listen to Aljamain Sterling here.
I don't think John's retiring is a stain on his legacy either. I know some people are trying to paint that narrative, but how can a guy who's defended his championship title more than 10 times have a stain on his legacy because he decided to not fight one more time? If he got hit by a car, knock on wood, and he couldn't compete for the rest of his life while the negotiations were still being made in the genesis of the negotiations, would people still say this is a stain on his legacy? No. So then what the hell's the difference? He doesn't want to fight him. He doesn't want to fight him. Now, as a...
Dear Aljamain Sterling, here's the difference. The negotiations were happening and agreed upon. 8-fight contract, $30 million, 6 months to get ready, handshake at the end of the November card. This wasn't negotiations were ongoing and John Jones was hit by a car.
Selfish fans were still being made in the genesis of the negotiations. Would people still say this is a stain on his legacy? Not for the rest of his life. While the negotiations were still being made in the genesis of the negotiations, would people still say this is a stain on his legacy? No. So then what the hell's the difference? He doesn't want...
The difference is that John Jones said yes to the fight. And then once he had nowhere else to go, no other cards to play of not trying to do the fight, that's when he ran away to Thailand. And just hoped that the situation would go away and started drinking with the boys down in Thailand. That's exactly what... There's a huge difference. And if John Jones had just fought Stipe Miocic and retired that night, there might not have been such a stain on John Jones's legacy. If this was John Jones's retirement fight... And he never said yes to fighting Tom Aspinall, and he gave up the belt and then left the belt in the middle of the octagon, then maybe there would be no stain on John Jones's legacy. Then maybe. But to lie to Dana White, to let all this happen for this long, that's where it is. It's not the same thing as John Jones getting hit by a car.
Knock on wood. And he couldn't compete for the rest of his life one more time. If he got hit by a car, knock on wood. And he couldn't compete for the rest of his life while the...
Unbelievable. No, I was saying when he glazes one of his fighters, people get pissed. Then he doesn't glaze one, people still get pissed. He can't win. That's true. There is like a lot of Dana White can't do anything right with the fan base, especially these days, Nacho. That is true. Look at that motherfucker, Aljo. Look at that motherfucker, Aljo! Aljo! Light him up, Aljo! Whoa, Kenny. Aljo's wrong. Yes, Aljo is wrong. Season 2 is pretty solid. If you enjoyed Season 1, you're most likely going to enjoy Season 2 as well. All right, I might check it out. Larry. Aljo is John Jones' #1 glazer. There's my favorite actor. There you go. There's my favorite actor. Good old Aljamain Sterling. Who hears MMA news and thinks to himself, I wonder what Aljamain Sterling has to say about this? No, Justin, I get it, dude, but I saw this as I was scrolling, and I was like, you know what? He reeled me in. I was like, I wonder what Aljo is going to say about this. Especially when I saw the headline. Aljamain Sterling, John Jones's legacy is still very much intact from Aljamain Sterling. I was like, what is the fucking sheer cope going to be on this one? Let's go for that. Sterling is just defending his fellow queen. Very true, Justin Kennedy. Maybe John Jones turned Aljo out in Thailand. Maybe, mate. You never know. Kenny, what is a... Very good, Kenny. His retirement proved that he was ducking Ngannou and Aspinall in light heavyweight when it started getting difficult. It couldn't be proven till this retirement, as he had no other option than Tom. Yes, this is the... And I've really, after doing, the timeline of events for everything, and really just absorbing John Jones's career over the last couple of days, it's pretty easy to see that John Jones is a master of the art of war. He will only enter a confrontation that he can win. If he cannot win the confrontation, and think about this, boys. This should be a video, but fuck it, we'll just do it as an addendum to today's video. Think about this. If John Jones can't win the situation, most likely win the situation, he runs away. And you could tell this by the 2 interviews that Tom Aspinall's name was brought up in. John Jones ran away. John Jones absolutely ran away. You can tell this by the car crashes that John Jones keeps getting in. And every single time when the police should roll up, John Jones runs away. You can tell this when USADA rocked up to the gym. What did John Jones do? He went and hid under the octagon. Every single time. And it's you got to respect it because he's understood the art of war. He's absolutely mastered the art of war. John Jones will not enter a situation that he can lose in. And it's far better to have a certain fan base. It's far better to have a certain fan base say that John Jones would have won that situation if he was in it, rather than be proven that he couldn't win that situation. And that headbutt on the hood of the police car, do you know why he was so angry in that moment, Brady B? You know why he was so angry? Because the cameras were finally on him and he'd been cornered and he couldn't run away and he raged out. John Jones is a fucking runner. If he can't win, he runs all the time. Can't excuse him because I'm not excusing him. I'm just saying he understands. Don't enter a battle unless you're going to win. You know what I mean? That is the art of war. That's in the art of war. He had a pregnant lady. I know. But that is the art of war. Do not fight a fight. You're not going to win. John Jones is a runner. A runner. All right, let me read your chats, boys. There are so many other stains, though. This is just the most recent one. Very, very true. His retirement proved that. Yeah. No, very true, Alpeg. Yeah, there are so many. I'm saying at the very least, right? At the very, very least. After seeing Patchy Mix's debut, I truly believe Valentina would torch him and win by standing TKO. You reckon Valentina Shevchenko would beat Patchy Mix? Maybe. He was horrible in his first fight. True, we were just shit-talking him, but he got really pissed at people for dragging it out. True, we were just shit-talking him before, but he really pissed people the fuck off by dragging it out like this. Exactly, Larry. Exactly. Piotr Yan's dad looking jacked. Jacked. Dougie, is that guy from you? Aljo's dad is One Punch Man. Dougie, is that guy from you? Aljo's dad is One Punch Man. I'm not sure what you're saying, Wixon. Can you do a poll on if chat thinks Alexa Grasso's feet are yummy? No, Yog, but I appreciate the commitment. His fellow queens, very important detail. True, Kenny. I see the word. You saw Khabib basically said the exact same thing, right? I didn't see what Khabib said, Larry, no. Thoughts on Gene Silva versus Diego Lopez in the future? I love that fight, JM absolutely love that fight. I'm gonna go with Diego Lopez. Yog poll today? No, absolutely. Absolutely not. Luke Thomas pisses me off? Yeah, but I still listen to Luke Thomas. Alexa Grasso is my grandpa. Awkward. I've said the whole time John Jones is the GOAT, but he isn't now because of this bluff got called. And when he couldn't get his way, he backed out on the biggest payday ever. He backed out on Shale too. Yes, absolutely. A fight he wasn't sure he could win, so he ran away. What's up, Frankie? How are you, dude? There's only a conversation about his legacy if you judge it just of his record in the cage. Just like a lot of us, we reject this contextual. We reject this contextual restriction. He is a cheater in the cage. Very, very true, mate. Especially with the eye pokes as well, right? Ngannou should have been John Jones's last name. Yes, he should have been. Absolutely, dude. I agree. He should have been. But John Jones ran away from that too. He backed out of Chael when the conditions didn't suit him, even though he probably could have walked straight through Chael. Exactly. He will only enter a confrontation, whether it's the media, whether it's with the police, whether it's a fight, no matter what, unless it is in his favor. It's the only thing that he will do. Thank you, Nacho, for shouting out Frankie. Thank you, dude. Guys, check out Fight Nights with Frankie. I see him down there in the chat. The headbutt on the hood of the police car, we did that one. John Jones looks like the Black Lamb. He does. Can't excuse him. I won't. Look up John Jones turns down JDS. All right, I'm extremely Asian. I'll look into that. Black man can't drink. Of course he can drink. I know it came like that. Yeah, fair enough, DZ. Fair enough. John's Duck Tom. He also said some lame-sounding stuff to try and get more money for the Francis fight, but at the end of the day, Francis is the one who ducked John. The truth about John is more than bad enough. There's no need to distort the truth and make him sound worse. I don't know, dude. I mean, when I broke down the timeline, I did notice that John Jones sat out the entire time that Francis was trying to negotiate with the UFC, and then once Francis Ngannou had finally become a free agent, that's when John Jones signed his new contract. John Jones is 100% a runner. He He is, dude. He is. Jones' brain is 90% fight IQ. Yeah, it is. That's all he thinks about is fight IQ. Can I win this situation? Dougie has stains on his underwear. Dougie does not have stains on his underwear. Tom will haunt John Jones for the rest of his life. Literally will. You'll never be able to hear John Jones without hearing ducking. He's a runner. He's a track star. All right, monkey. You guys want to hear something fucked up that I can't for the life of me understand? Go ahead, Larry. Drop it. I would be gone, says Carasso. Pretty excited for this card. I'm such a mark. Frankie. Oh, right, for UFC International Fight Week. I know, I'm revved up for it as well, dude. I'm revved. Are you going to be gambling on it, Frankie, or is your break from gambling over? I'm jumping. Check the video later, mate. Going down sometime on Wednesday. You're 14 hours ahead. Good night, Western Mass. Have a good night's sleep. Thank you for chopping that up for me, dude. I appreciate it. Check out Frankie, guys. We endorse him. We absolutely do endorse Frankie. Does anyone remember Casey Kennedy? What the fuck happened to him? What the fuck did happen to him? That's a good point. Casey Kennedy was a decent little scrapper. Friday Night Frankie remembers. People forget, man, but Frankie remembers. You picking Drickus to win by standing TKO. Drickus Duplessis by standing TKO up against the cage. Maybe. Could be ground and pound because Khamzat Chimaev is only really comfortable on the ground when he's getting your back. When he's not on your back, he's constantly trying to look for the back. So I could see just a regular TKO. I heard he was involved in some domestic abuse with his girlfriend. I don't know how true that is, though. Casey Kennedy? Maybe, dude. Who you got? Flukas versus Drickus. I got Flukas Tracy, absolutely. Pretty good, man. Heading to another shift in the pits of Anibis. Yes, dude. Good luck, man. Fucking good luck. Oh, stay safe out there. Are you baiting Atomic? He beat the shit out of the mother of his children. Oh, there you go. I'm on a 2-card win streak. Let that bitch ride. Oh, no. Frankie's feeling high. He's going to be saying Charles Oliveira by submission. Frankie's on a run. This is where we crash into the wall of gambling. Didn't Casey Kennedy get arrested for domestic abuse? Let's have a look. Let's see if Casey Kennedy got arrested for domestic abuse. Let's have a look. Casey Kennedy, domestic abuse. Casey Kennedy. All right, here we go. Ex-UFC fighter. You guys can't see that. Boom. Ex-UFC fighter Casey Kennedy pleads not guilty, released on bond. As usual, no one goes to prison in America. Do whatever you want. Cheddarhead, thank you for the $1, dude. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Kenny was released following the arrangement hearing in Arizona on Thursday. Kenny was released from custody after paying his $10,000 bond. He pled not guilty. He was arrested in August following allegations of domestic violence. Yes, so he was arrested for domestic violence. That is absolutely correct, mate. Absolutely correct. You're spot on there. People forget, man, and I forgot too. Jeez, man, nice work keeping up with this chat. People spamming comments hard. I know, Alpeg. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it, but I got to try and duck and weave the zesty ones from Kenny. I got to duck and weave Kenny's zesty little comments, and then we'll get there. Imagine Drickus just Donkey Kong TKOs Chimaev like Blades did Almeida. I mean, if Chimaev is in on the single leg and Drickus is just like, that would be fucking gold, Ron. Gold. I think Casey Kennedy got on the meth. I bought a tiger. I'm never going to financially recover from this. A Cheddarhead, thank you again for the $1. Dougie, why are you such an Alexa Grasso yummy feet hater? You know some of the greatest things in existence. No. John Jones has a white woman for a wife too, right? What's wrong? Come on, Brady B. Pull up, mate. Come on. Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about John still. No, we're not talking about John still. He looks like a blob. He's blobbed up. I don't watch. Fair enough, Shyla. This heartburn has got me making me want to headbutt the fucking pickaxe. Don't do that, Justin Kennedy. Tomorrow will be better. Dougie versus 12 Glizzy. So here's the bet. Ladies and gentlemen of the chat, since some of you were not here for the live stream of UFC Azerbaijan, I completely understand. The time zone was cooked. Me and Nacho have a bet writing for UFC 317. If Beneil Dariush defeats Renato Moicano, I have to go to Costco and get 12 glizzies and eat them live on the stream. I've got to do a 12 hot dog live stream. I'm not enjoying that. I'm Cheddarhead. That's right. Sorry, Cheddarhead. My bad. I'm not enjoying that idea at all. However, when Renato Moicano destroys Benil Dariush, Cheddarhead is going to send me $100 via PayPal if you could, Cheddarhead. Let's not give Google their disgusting 30%. If you could do it via PayPal, that would be amazing, mate. That's the bet, boys. So, I've got a lot riding on Moicano versus Dariush. Dougie versus a book at UFC 400. I can read, mate. I just can't read when the text is moving around. I haven't said anything zesty since the very start of the stream. I know, Kenny, and I'm sorry. Tez Pomo, mate. Valentine has some nice thighs. Not wrong. Drickus wins via flying knee. Round 3. Well done, Atomic. Yes, maybe. I see what you did there. Women can all domestic violence on men and having not touched them. On men and having not touched them. Women can domestic violence on a man not even touching them. Yes. Verbally domestic. Yeah, absolutely, Brady B. Hamzat shoots for a low double leg while Drickus is throwing the question mark kick. Drickus slips and the knee lands on Hamzat's head and knocks him the fuck out. Let's go, Wixon. That's all we want to see, brother. Yes. Musical is going to have to eat a kilo of onions. Oh no. Is he really? Chedhead, what have you done to MMA YouTube, dude? Oh no, dude. I got the better end of that stick. Musical, I'm sorry, mate. Musical, you're gonna... Oh, God. We need Moicano to win this. MMA YouTube needs Moicano to win this. How much did you bet Musical, Cheddarhead? Musical is going to have to... Dougie is going to go into Power Glizzy, but I think Renato wins. I think Renato wins as well. What's up, Zark81? How are you? I don't think I've ever seen you in my chat before. How are you? My name's Dougie. I make an MMA video every single day of the week. Maybe not tomorrow. Subscribe and enjoy the channel. So you're telling me if Alexa Grasso said she wanted to give you a foot job, you would say no? Yes, Yog, I would say no. I sent the Khabib thing to the Discord. Thank you, Larry. I'll check it out. What's the fascination with hot dogs? No idea, Brady B. It's MMA YouTube. It's a weird place, you know. The time of the was excellent. What made me laugh is them wondering why half the crowd walked out of the main event when it was only locally 2:30 in the morning. Oh, God. Yeah, the time of the event would have been good for you European fans. It was a nightmare for us Australian fans. And the Azerbaijani crowd is disgusting. Really, really disgusting. The way they just leave the arena for the main event. Those boys have got too much money. They don't know what to do with it all. Costco's are that accessible in Melbourne, huh? Occasional warehouse up here. There's only 2 in Melbourne, but luckily I live close to one of them. UFC event in Spain, Paddy versus Ilya at St. Bernabé. UFC event in Spain, Paddy versus Ilya at St. Bernabé. I'd love that, Zach. That's a great idea, but I don't think the UFC are doing it. Let's see what Khabib Nurmagomedov had to say about John Jones, boys. All right. Khabib Nurmagomedov pays respects to John Jones after retirement. My congratulations, legend. Even though we were not friends, you were the best to ever do it in UFC history, and you inspired millions of people around the world. You have nothing more to prove in this sport. Okay. It's Khabib's take. Fair enough. Fair enough. And again, if John Jones had just put the belt down in the octagon after he'd beaten Stipe Miocic, I don't think everyone would be as angry as they are. It's the fact that he strung us along for so long that's the problem. A maniac is trying to kill me over $5. Well, UFC Sabbath, you know, if you're not going to pay your $5, then that's what happens, mate. Moicano lost his hype. He did, true. $100 versus a bag of onions. So you're going to have to pay out a couple of $100 this weekend, Cheddarhead. Good luck, mate. Dark room with John Jones or mount position with Gaziev. Mount position with Gaziev. John Jones in a dark room. My arsehole is getting split in half. Moicano cannot afford to lose. Best $100 anyone's ever put up. I agree, Fight Night Frankie. What does the foot job do? I know, it's lame. I agree, Brady B. It's lame. John was calling for the fight to happen in the summer before Francis fought Cyril, and his injury was revealed, then started calling for Stipe in the meantime, and Stipe agreed, but the UFC kept delaying it. It was immediately booked once Francis parted ways because he had been there waiting for over a year. Francis in the UFC to reach a deal so they could fight him, but Francis ultimately rejected the deal despite them offering him so much that he said he was willing to go forget about his boxing, his original dream. So it's safe to assume they offered a fuck ton of money because his pay would have gone down if he had lost to John Jones, and he wasn't okay with that. That's all what he said himself. Sure as hell doesn't sound like he was super confident that he'd win against John Jones. Thank you, Larry, for the breakdown of John Jones versus Francis. Francis Ngannou. Larry does not believe that John Jones ducked Francis Ngannou. There are $1 pizzas in Costco. Is there $1 pizza in Costco, Melbourne? No, there isn't. There isn't at all. It's warm here. Lucky you. It's bloody freezing here. And it's stormy as hell outside. We've had to strap everything down on the balcony. I think Musical is going to get like $250 total from people if he eats the entire bag of onions in 30 minutes. Now that is a win for Musical. Either $100 from Cheddarhead or $250 for just downing a bag of onions. Musical is truly a man of the people. Common Khabib L. I agree, Ron. The main event was on for them in Baku at 2:30 in the morning, though. Of course, they left. Already saw their boys win. Oh, it was on at 2:30 a.m. for them. Then why? 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 Why it's such a late time? Why did they change the time zone if not to accommodate them for their time zone? Who wants to watch a main event at 2:30 a.m.? If I go out for the night, I want my main event to be wrapping up at 11:30. I'm old, mate. I want to go home. I'm not sitting there doing lines of cocaine all night just to watch 7 hours of wrestling. That makes no sense, man. I have Benny versus Moicano with you. I have Ilya and Musical has Oliveira off of the onion. All right, Chedhead, I like it. You've sprinkled your parlays across the entire card. Brotherly Brawl, Ilya Abturio, Bat versus Alexander Abturo. Who wins? Ilya Tabturo showbiz stories. I reckon Ilya's got this one. I haven't listened to a Khabib take since he baited the fans at a press conference for drinking alcohol. Yeah, they're different cultures, different folks for different strokes. That doesn't mean you got to throw out the baby with the bathwater when it comes to Khabib's takes. He is still one of the most dominant wrestlers the UFC's ever seen. He might know a little bit about the game that might be worth listening to, but he's wrong about this one, Carpathius. Dougie, thoughts on Marab making Nina act like a normal person for the first time in her life? I didn't see it, not the AM, bro. I don't watch Nina drama content. So I didn't see it, dude. I'm sorry, brother. I can't give you any thoughts on it. They offered Ngannou $8 million for 8 fights. There you go. It must be the similar thing they offered John Jones because John Jones signed an 8-fight deal. Israel Matubi. Why is this Israel Adesanya's entire name that you just feel like spamming, Wixon? One Dougie versus 100 Diddies. I destroy them all, mate. Wixon, you're the reason chats get skipped over. Jesus, Candy. Did Dougie win all of his fights in high school? In high school? No. Well, in the school, yes. But then, later, when we were at a park drinking with the boys, they pulled up on me, and we were severely outnumbered. And that was a night where we ran. We ran and we ran and we ran. Yes. So in the school, within the confines of the school, yes. But overall, no, not undefeated. Even at 11:30, it's shit. I hope the event started like 4 and are done by 10. Yeah, it's 7 hours. It's so long. Drugs are bad, MK. Kids, that's why drugs are bad. Y'all shouldn't do that. Israel aids Asanya. Very good, Atomic. Right, our culture invented this shit. He should be more respectful. And our culture invented this shit. He should be more respectful. What are you implying? That you guys invented MMA? Like Valley Tudo in Japan? Is that what you're saying? That you guys, or Pancrase? Is that what you're implying, Capatheist? You guys didn't invent MMA. You marketed MMA. You came up with the marketing for MMA, but you guys did not invent Pancrase or Valley Tudo. That was the Japanese. I am the world's most famous expert on this topic. Very true, Larry. And it's not about defending Don Jones. It's about not glazing Francis and virtue signaled and pretend to care about other fighters, but only really cared about his own pay. But you sprinkle cheese on nachos and nacho sprinkles cheese on... Sorry, both the green and the grey got me confused there, boys. And it's not about defending John Jones, it's about not glazing Francis, who virtue signals and pretend to care about other fighters, but ultimately only really cares about his own pay. I completely agree, Larry. I completely agree with that. Yeah, but Francis should care about his own pay. It's his job to get the most money that he can. But he did do it behind this shield of virtue signal, which was, it was for the fighters. We need to have healthcare for the fighters. No, Francis doesn't give a fuck about that. I'm the world's famous. There we go. Jisrael Vajasanya. Very good, Justin Kennedy. I like Royval as a pick'em in this one. I'm going with Royval. I think it's way too early for Joshua Van. I agree, Frankie. I agree. I think the odds are completely skewed. Although I will say this, chat. The odds on Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. Ilia Charles odds. Can I do it on DraftKings? Can I get to DraftKings in Australia? Can I view DraftKings in Australia? No, access denied. You are gay. Can I click on this website in Australia? I can. Why the fuck is Charles Oliveira, Ilia Topuria? Yes, these odds here. Why are they written like that? You know what? This is what Twitter was for. This is what Twitter was for. No, can't bring up the odds because it's just a whole bunch of random tweets. There we go. Thank you. Finally, someone tweeted it. This is way too much. This is way too much. A minus 400 favorite. Way too much. Try it. Listen, if you guys are gamblers, what I would do is get a locked-in parlay. Come up with a parlay that you think is going to be a lock to get your big wins boosted. But it's getting close to the end of the day for me. I'm crashing. Come up with the parlay to get your big win bolster. An easy parlay, one that's just going to make you a little bit of money. And then some of that money, sprinkle it on Charles Oliveira. Because this, as a favorite, is way too much for Charles Oliveira, the greatest submission artist that we have in the UFC. Like, this is too much. This is an unfair advantage that they've given Ilia Topuria. Way, way, way too much. My finger, when I pick it up, what the fuck was that? I'm not sure, Larry. I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to read the last of your chats, and then we're going to get out of here. Where are we at with the tune? Let's play the outro music. Let's wrap it up. Let's say Larry's got the last one here. All right, I'm going to read through your chats. I've highlighted the last one. Larry's got the last one. Let's go. I've heard... Where am I at? Oh my God, I'm so far behind. Yeah, this was the right time to wrap it up. It's not about defending John. We did that one. I bet you sprinkle cheese on nachos and Nacho sprinkles cheese on bets. He does, and I do. I do sprinkle cheese. I got Roy Val as a pick'em. There we go. I heard Marab, Nina, her husband, and a mountain goat had a famous foursome in Georgia. Probably, mate. As long as you film it, honey. Now get in here, goat. Dougie ran so hard that night. Origins of his dad's calves. Exactly right, Wixon. Of his dad calves. Exactly right. I ran for my bloody life. You took the judges out of it in all of those fights, right? No, but they're schoolyard punch-ons, you know what I mean? You know who wins and who loses. We ran. I ran like John Jones running out of a confrontation. You guys, you're Australian. Western culture invented the proper sport of mixed martial art. You're Australian. Western culture invented the popular sport of mixed martial arts. I mean, we stole it. We stole it from Valley Tudo and Pancrase. We stole it. Westerners stole it. Handicap matches don't count on the official record. Exactly right, Frankie. If a carload of blokes pulls up and you got to leg it, doesn't count. Topuria basically said the UFC has restrictions on when cards can air in the ESPN deal. They can't have Spain event at night in Europe until they sign a new deal. Seems plausible. That makes sense. I can believe that, Eats Chowder. No, doesn't make sense. Maybe pay-per-views, but we had the English card at the English time. I know we had the English pay-per-view at the American time zone, but we had the English fight night this year at the American time zone. So, no, I don't think that's correct, Bang Eats Chowder. Yeah, I don't think that's correct. Australia invented wild animals, weird animals. True. Topuria is a minus 500 favorite. Yep. So, yeah, that's wild. Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan. Who you got? I've got Ilia Topuria to beat Charles Oliveira. I think Arman Tsarukyan might be able to wrestle fuck Topuria. Maybe. I think I'd edge Arman. No diddy, but I'd edge Arman. Australia invented the mullet, Vegemite, and dad carbs. Fucking oath, mate. Best pound for pound UFC entrance theme ever. Brian Ortega's walkout against Alexander Volkanovski. Frankie got Roy Val as an underdog. How is Roy Val an underdog? Absolutely insane to me. But if you guys got him while he was an underdog, insane. If Van was a decent underdog, I'd sprinkle. There you go. As for the crazy thing I mentioned, get this shit. So I just made some oatmeal a little bit ago, and I make it in coffee mugs because it takes up way less space in the dishwasher. So I had to use a random snowman-shaped Christmas mug I never use, and after just 60 seconds in the microwave, the handle somehow got so hot that it actually fucking burned me. My finger when I went to pick it up, what the fuck is that? That's weird, Larry. That's real weird, man. Maybe your Christmas coffee mug was handmade in a kiln and it heated right back up. Fuck yeah, throw some money on Charles Oliveira. Throw a sprinkle on Charles Oliveira, absolutely. I'm going to throw $20 on Chubb just by sub, just in case. I'm putting 9K on Oliveira. Maybe not that much, but you guys get what I'm saying. This is too much. It's not even on the screen anymore. This is too much. This is too much. All right, I'm out of here. I've been banned by Bet365 for being too awesome. They seem to love me when I kept losing. Yeah, I'm not even allowed to have a Bet365 account. I'm not even allowed to have one. I tried to sign up. They wouldn't let me sign up. Dougie Edge's armed men. No. All right, I'm out of here. We did it. We did it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the stream. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you haven't seen today's video, get some sleep tonight. I know, I don't think I'm going to do a video tomorrow. I think I'm going to let today's video percolate in the I might do a video. Let me have some coffee and see how I feel. I might do tomorrow's video. If you haven't seen today's video, I highly suggest you go and watch it. It is a very clean breakdown of how we ended up in this situation today and why this isn't Dana White's fault. Feedback from the video has been good. So if you haven't seen today's video, I really suggest you go and watch it. Subscribe to Fight Nights with Frankie if you enjoy more live streams from small YouTube creators. And I will definitely see you in tomorrow's live stream and maybe tomorrow's video. Let me have a cup of coffee and some water. I'll probably end up filming something. Have a good night, boys. Have a good day. Have a good Arvo in Canada. Have a good night in America and Canada, wherever you're at. Have a good morning in Europe. And have a good afternoon in Australia. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Shout out Frankie. Shout out to all the boys. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in tomorrow's stream and video. See you guys.